Cheers! This is the name of this story. Once in a college, where the students had a routine of having a moral education lecture once in a while, a trainer was invited to give them some kind of a lecture on moral education, moral values. So this trainer came. He thought that these are all boys who are so naughty, full of mischief. If I start talking to them, they are not going to listen carefully. They will only make noise. So he had a bright idea. The trainer thought, I will show them one experiment. And that experiment would be such that it would be self-explanatory, and that would solve the whole purpose. They would also be engrossed and I won't have to say anything. So with this bright idea, he entered the classroom. It was packed with 150 students, all boys waiting to hear and to make a lot of noise. They were full of enthusiasm because it was moral education. They've thought, what is there? We'll just listen to some lecture. The moment the teacher entered, all the boys stood up together. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. He said, okay, good morning. Please sit down, and please keep silence. They all sat down. He said, well, students, today I'm going to show you a very interesting experiment and you have to draw your own conclusion. So, yeah, thank you, sir. What is the okay, hold on, I'm showing you. And then on the table which was kept there, this instructor, he kept his bag, and from the bag he took out 2 bottles, glass bottles. On one bottle it was written pure water in big alphabet so that people could read. And then he took out the second bottle. On that it was written whiskey. The boys started shouting, whiskey, sir, what is? Please listen, I'm showing it to you. Please keep quiet, the trainer said. They said, okay. And then he took out 2 glass tumblers. He kept it on the table. He had a small box with him and he had a faucet. Now what he did was, in one of the glasses, he poured pure water right up to the top. And then he left a little space above, but he filled it with water. And then all the boys were looking, now what next? Then he opened his small box and with the forceps, he just picked up that cow dung beetle which he had brought in that box, and with the forceps, he pushed it down inside the water in the glass, right up to the bottom of the glass. The beetle could not breathe and it turned upside down and it started throwing up his legs and trying to somehow become straight again. It tried a little for a few seconds and then within a minute it could turn and it became normal again and it started swimming on the surface of the water. The trainer picked up the glass and showed, so can you all see? Everyone said, yes sir, yes sir. And then he put down the glass. Next what he did was he took the second glass and in that he poured the whiskey. Now the boys were really interested. They were looking and he picked up the beetle with his forceps from this glass of water and he pushed it down into the glass full of whiskey and it went right down to the bottom. Again the beetle tried its best to become okay and to turn around, but somehow this time he just could not turn around. And slowly they found within a minute the beetle had died and it was lying with all its legs turned up on the bottom of the glass. He showed it. They said, oh my God, the beetle died. The trainer said, yes, that is what I wanted to show you. By this time, the time was really up and hardly 5 minutes were remaining. So what the trainer thought, just to kill time, he said, okay, have you all understood what this experiment says? All the boys said, yes sir, yes sir. He said, can one of you please come up and explain what it says to you all? All the boys said, I want to come. He said, no. He just called one smart guy. This guy came up near the table and he said, first of all, sir, let me congratulate you and say a big thank you to you. And he shook hands with the trainer and he said, thank you so much, sir. Today you have cleared all our doubts and we have become absolutely sure that we should not be listening to all the things that our parents say, and what you have said is really wonderful. The trainer was shocked. He said, what do you mean by that? Can you please explain what you have understood? He said, sir, it was so well explained through your experiment that, we should not bother to drink much water, but we should make sure that every day we take at least a few pegs of alcoholic drinks, and take it as much as we can. And that is such a wonderful news. Our parents are unnecessarily scolding us that we should not get into the habit of drinking, but you just proved. He said, what do you mean I proved? What did you understand? Sir, we understood that drinking is very good for health and we are going to follow this. And before the trainer could say anything, the time was up, the bell rang, and all the boys went out of the class. Nobody was ready to wait. The trainer kept sitting and thinking, oh God, what happened? Why did this happen? If the principal comes to know, what is going to happen? Now the question over here is, friends, that what actually happened? Why did all these boys draw this conclusion? Who went wrong? If I were to say, I would say there was a serious lapse in the rules which he had not followed of effective communication. The first rule of effective communication is always introduce your subject in a way, the way you want your audience to think. In this case, all he had to do when he came in, he needed to say, students, today I am going to explain to you all through an experiment the bad effects of excessive drinking. Then, while he was showing the experiment, the second rule of effective communication, he should have explained each step the way he wanted them to remember. That, see, when the insect is put in the water, nothing happened. And when it is in whiskey, it died, because those boys had said that when we keep drinking water, all the microorganisms which are there in our intestine, they remain alive, and that makes us fall ill. Whereas when we drink alcoholic drinks and excessively, what happens is all the microorganisms die inside our intestine and we remain healthy. So that is the reason why we should be drinking. Now, this was not the point that he was trying to make. So he should have told that, see, this insect died instantly, but as human beings, we keep on dying slowly when we get into excessive drinking. First, we start losing our good health. Our relationships get spoiled with our family members. We face a lot of financial issues because of excessive drinking. And finally, due to bad health, we may lose our job and it can lead us to an early death. So that is why. And third rule of effective communication, again repeat the dialogue with which you had started by saying, that is the reason I have proved you through this experiment that it is always better to stay away from excessive drinking. Friends, this is what he wanted to say, and this is the goof up that he did. What this story tries to tell me is that be very clear about what you wish to achieve when you start saying something. Now this story might say something different to you. So for that, please listen carefully and interpret the way you want. Adapt what you feel is worth remembering and help yourself to grow. So, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. A little about the institute, about us. The name of my institute is Mrs. Surabhi Banerjee's Spoken English Classes, established in 1980. And the name of our training program is Enhance Your English. We have classes both online as well as offline. And our client list comprises of professionals, entrepreneurs, students, homemakers, and people from all walks of life. For so many years, for this last 45 years that I have been working as a communication coach in my institute, I have trained people from different walks of life, and they have all blossomed into the real person that they wish to be. So if you wish to enhance your English or your communication skills, not just English, please feel free to contact us. The contact number is given below. Thank you.